Hello, this is Anne-Marie McNamara with TipTop Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to seeing people. I'm going to wait a few minutes to see who jumps on the live call. Today I'm going to be talking about my book, Earth Whisper, The White Chick / Woman from Tacoma. I'm going to be reading a few passages from it, and I'm also going to be explaining how it sets up. So basically, I have a very extensive table of contents, lots of pages, you can see here like that. Oh, if I want to know who's watching the live video, swipe to the left. Ready, you guys? Okay, left, so I swipe. Okay, oh, that's cool. Hi, Jerry. Hey, that's a new feature. They show up the little people down below. Anyway, getting back to the book. So I set it up because I have found when I buy ebooks, for instance, what happens is I have a passage in there and I want to know about it. And so what I do is I go and start flipping through the pages and I say, I can't find it now, but I know it's in here. I'll get back to you on it. And so what happens is I sometimes get back to them and sometimes I don't. So in order to solve that problem, I have like this huge table of contents, which is almost like an index, but not. So if somebody wanted to go to a particular story, they can go there. This is a collection, kind of a memoir, non-fiction, fiction, fantasy, whatever you want it to be. Book. It's stories that I have experienced. So the first story that I'm going to read, because people are often interested, how did I happen to get into doing this? Because I come from such a conservative background, and I do. You know, I come from very conservative religious background, and this was nothing that my parents or my family would have ever thought I'd get involved in. But here you go. Life is funny that way. This is called, this part of the book, or the story is called The Life-Changing Event. And the names in this book have been changed, just makes it simpler. So everybody's a fictitious name. The Life-Changing Event. It was on a November 11th, 1985, at 11 o'clock in the morning, that my life changed. At that time, I was a single mother with an amazing teenager. My job was a juvenile probation counselor for King County Youth Services. I was the felon intake worker for our unit and mostly worked with assault cases. My job was to interview the youth with their families, read the police reports, gather information, to write a report and make a recommendation to the court. Most people commented how interesting my job was. Years later, I can appreciate why they said that. But daily reading of police reports takes a toll on one's mind. My friend Kathy and I were treating ourselves to a latte and a chocolate chip cookie at the B&O Cafe. It was a holiday, and we were vacationing for a couple hours. We had become acquainted through my son and her children's daycare. We were both single parents, divorced, raising our families, and attending the University of Washington. Later, we both had demanding careers. We took vacations whenever we could. I had just finished talking about my son, and Kathy was talking about one of her sons. As I listened, I felt a vibration current enter the top of my head and go through my body. This current traveled down through both hands and into the glass coffee mug I had in my hand. And it was just no more than, just like a little cup. They were very popular. They're just clear glass. Anyway, back to the story. As I listened, this current traveled down through both hands and into the glass coffee mug I had in my hands. The cup shattered into teeny pieces. The contents was 1/3 full of lukewarm latte. My favorite corduroy gray pants were drenched in light brown liquid. When I looked at my hands expecting to see blood, I was shocked to see there was no cuts in my hands. As I looked down at the mess, I remembered the Memorex commercial about how the sound was so good in the quality of the cassette tape, it would break a wine glass in teeny pieces when the opera singer hit the high note. It was our first clue. Kathy and I sat there stunned. What just happened? One of the owners of the coffee shop ran over and apologized profusely. He insisted on making me another latte. Of course, I accepted. After all, a gal cannot refuse a latte. A free latte. I am from Seattle. I laughed when I saw my replacement latte brought to me in a styrofoam cup. The owner was not taking any chances. He had already lost one cup. As Kathy and I tried to sort out what had happened, the discussion turned to the idea that this was a paranormal message. Kathy was sure it was some sort of message. I had no idea what it was, how to decipher it. As it happened, a young man seated in the table next to us joined in our discussion. The universe, being friendly, provided us with some answers. He told us he had recently been studying paranormal abilities at John F. Kennedy University in San Francisco, California. Naturally, I'd never heard of the school, but Kathy had. She said one of her sisters had done some research about schools with courses in the paranormal, and she had mentioned to Kathy this was an excellent program. The young man was pleased to hear she had heard of his school. He proceeded to say he was sure the glass breaking was some kind of paranormal sign and encouraged me to find a reputable psychic in the area. Now we were stuck. Kathy and I thought about who might know a psychic reader in the area. Kathy decided our Southern African friend Susan might. She did not, but told us of another mutual friend, Ellen Wood. Ellen was very helpful and directed me to Jean. She was a psychic and a teacher. Jean gave me a psychic reading, my first. She said this event had not been random or just a coincidence. She felt there was a message, too, for me. What was the significance of that date and time for me? I remember that November 11th was the original Armistice Day after World War I. My grandmother had talked to me about President Wilson's goal of world peace and all nations communicating. At the same time of this incident of the cap breaking, I was working as a juvenile probation counselor, helping youth find other methods of solving differences without violence. The psychic did not think the date was as significant as the idea of the holiday. I remember thinking she was not correct, but I was confused. She was the psychic, not me. So that's a bit of it. And now I'm going to read an aha moment. Aha moments. The reason I'm doing aha moments is precisely because a friend of mine, a young friend of mine, told me that he liked the aha moments, that it was helping him formulate his own life path. And he's a young person in his 20s. Aha moments. In our culture, we have an indirect way of blaming something other than the root cause of the problem, as if by acknowledging the root cause, the pain will increase. It is the dualistic nature of the Western mind, seeking to separate from pain instead of embracing it as a life cycle. Sometimes, to minimize our feelings, we make excuses for others who seem like ourselves, or we maximize our fear or anger. We judge others harshly if they are not like us, or we judge others harshly because they are like us. The dualistic nature of us versus them. How about being a witness to the action and staying focused on feelings about the interaction? Change. Sometimes we force a change on others that may not be necessary. It might be us who needs to change. And I wanted to talk about my book launch. My book launch is going to be this Saturday, Earth Day, and it will be at my art studio. It will be in the building of my art studio. It's going to be in the art gallery upstairs, which is going to be kind of fun. And I'll be reading from the book, different stories and selling books, which is kind of fun too, and autographing, and just having a party and just calling in people and saying, hey, how you doing? And it looks like there'll be some people that I haven't seen for a while. So I'm really excited for this opportunity to share my book and to see my friends and to meet new people. And I just think it's going to be lots of fun. And I'm going to leave you with one more thought. Dancing is life. This is an aha moment. Dancing is life. Everybody get out there and dance, or get up now and dance a few steps. It is one of the best ways to honor our body's joy. Take care. Happy TipTop Tuesday. Happy Dazzle Days. And that's it. Bye. Boom. Doesn't want to